Mr. Happy Living here, and I'm happy to be broadcasting from WITV7 in the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Will you join me for a minute and imagine just how fantastic you'd feel living the unique and distinct life that you were put on this planet to live, doing work you love with people you love, in places you love, and all the while creating something of real value to others. Well, that's what I call a life of significance. And I can tell you, it makes for a really happy life. And so can my friend Larry Diamond. And he's here to share his unique and distinct journey to his life of significance. But before we bring him on, I'd like to share a poem that we created to thank him for being our guest star today. It's called Healing with the Diamonds, and it goes like this. Through trials and change, they forged a new way, shedding old burdens, embracing each day. Larry with Kay Lynne and Courage Magnificent, Healing with the Diamonds, a story of significance. With wisdom and joy, they help you to see that families can flourish strong, whole, and free. From food choice to mindset, their mission empowers. Healing with the Diamonds restores power to ours. So tune in, my friends. Let their voices inspire, igniting your dreams with passion and fire. Discover the strength that true love commands and the joy that flows from healing with the diamonds. Hey, Larry, welcome to the show.
Wow, I'm still tingling with goosebumps. I get, call it the Holy Spirit, whatever you might, but I definitely, wow, that gave me electric shock. So thank you, my friend. I'll have to put that on, print it out and hang it up on our wall for sure. I
Very
appreciate it.
good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And so, Larry, just get us started by telling us what you're doing these days to make your mark of significance on the world.
Thank you. So we've started Healing with the Diamonds, which is a play on our last name. We don't actually use diamonds
Right?
in our healing. We call it bringing ancestral wisdom to modern families like ours. And what is kind of my core passion, healing changed my career. And we can get, 6 years as a health coach for, a great organization and now starting our own. What really motivates me is I want everyone to understand how their bodies work and the
Mhm.
best accurate information based on what our ancestors did to be super healthy. It, I don't judge anyone in the decisions they make, but I want every family to have the best possible information so when they want to heal, and that's very important. You mentioned mindset. We have to find our whys for healing. And my family was a big why. Then when families or an individual in the family is ready to heal, I want them to have the information that we discovered accessible to them in really
Yeah.
powerful ways.
Yeah. And I was trying to think about this idea of ancestral wisdom. And you said you don't judge anybody. And what came to mind as I was just talking with you here is this idea of a frog slowly boiling in water and it doesn't realize what's happened until it's dead. And so at the very end, near the very end, the frog's saying, "Hey, everything's fine. Life is just perfectly fine." And I think that's what's happened. It's been this slow boil away from health and into all kinds of other things we could go into, but that was not health. And a regular modern day person that's not focused on this stuff wouldn't realize that, for example, the things they're eating has poisons in it, or the things they're cleaning with is leaving remnants of poison in their house that's dangerous for their children, and they don't know. So I think what you said is if you're not ready to change, there's nothing we can do. But when you're ready, we've got some answers for you.
Exactly. And you just got to a very important point, the difference between what's common now and what's normal. And absolutely, it's common. I'm 60 now, never been healthier. It feels good, Matt, to be healthy at 60. Let me tell you.
Yes,
And
sir.
sadly, not many Americans can say that nowadays, or even really healthy at 40 or 30. It's getting
Correct.
worse and worse. It doesn't have to be that way. But what happens is because it's so common, we also think it's normal to not feel well.
Right.
And yeah, so that is an important part to realize that. Yeah.
Very good. Before we leave this section, I want to ask you about two things about your podcast. First,
Uh,
how did you overcome the fear of doing a podcast? Because I know I had it, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's easier for me now, but man, so how did you overcome? How much fear did you
yeah.
have, and how did you and your
Yeah.
wife overcome it? And then, what's been the most surprising reward that you've
Uh,
got from doing it?
so a few things. I didn't have a podcasting background, but I had something beyond podcasting. I'm an ex high school science teacher, and I tell people that no crowd, no, and I spoke at Keto Salt Lake. I've spoken in front of. I was a speaker at KetoCon in Austin. There isn't a tougher crowd than high school science students because many of them don't even want to be there. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
that. And then I mentioned 6 years of health coaching. That was for the fasting method. And I brought guests on and co conducted interviews. And I also did regular, like 4, 5, 6 community meetings a week. So and
You were trained.
and yeah, and I love to read and I love stories. And ultimately, science is a type of story. So I feel like I am a born storyteller. So, and I'll be honest, we've had fantastic guests. It's called Healing with the Diamonds. I mean, amazing. And we've got more amazing ones down the line. So please check us out because people have heard of him, Ben Azadi, Nasha Winters, who's the best person on planet Earth for cancer, Dr.
Mm,
Stephen Hussey. It just goes on and on. So
good stuff.
I just like you, I love, but if you transported me back before high school science, no, I can't even say that. I just like to talk now.
Very good, very good. All right, Larry, let's do a little mathematics so our friends
Yeah.
all around the world can get to know you through our happy formula. It's a very
Okay.
simple formula, but it's super
Mhm.
powerful, and it goes like this: power plus purpose equals happy. So let's start with power. What are your personal practices? And listen, in this case, let's talk about you and your wife. So, what are your personal practices between the two of you for building up the power you need to get things done, whether it's physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally? In other words, what do you and your wife do on a regular basis to create the power you need to take excellent care of yourselves and your loved ones and still have plenty left over so you can be a giver to others?
Wow, great questions. And sorry, I hope it doesn't. My pup's in the background wanting to get out, but we'll navigate that. Um,
Mine's right there. So,
yeah, um, w- I think it's having gratitude is one of the huge reasons. Wanting so instead of life being a burden and having love, I don't want to be corny, but I'll go ahead. I found a true soul partner, and being
mm,
immersed in that love each and every day is so almost electrically powering. And as you said, having purpose. And then, ironically, what we give to other people with
mhm.
healing with the diamonds, being healthy take so much of the burden. We talked about sadly not being healthy
Yeah.
is so common now, even though it's not normal. So actually, what we do with healing of with the diamonds gives us more energy, so we can actually get through the day. We go to sleep. I'll admit this. I'm a 9 to 5 sleeper.
Mm.
Nothing good happens after 9 p.m. And I enjoy And then I've found joyful movement. So the
Yeah.
movement I've linked to my body as a temple and wanting to take care of my body. And, you know, the misinformation and disinformation, I guess you could call it righteous anger. That's a type of powering
Power.
as well. So,
Hmm.
and I think at the root, we really treat other people as family. Love and joy are a really powerful frequency to get things done.
Yep.
Um, my wife's a lifelong elementary school teacher. So, what is it? Attitude determines amplitude, or I don't know if that's what, but let's go with that. So, the positive attitude and whole real food, it's
Yeah.
easier to be positive. We could do the whole podcast on that. People, in addition to obesity and chronic diseases, sadly, sometimes cancer, people are unaware of what a bad mood that the ultra processed food gives them. So
Yeah.
we just have more energy because, ironically, of what we share and live at Healing with the Diamonds.
Yeah. And you mentioned something, and I've written about this too. But when you're not healthy, or when your room is, let's just say your bedroom is filthy because you've thrown clothes all over the place,
Yeah.
it's harder to live in that room, because you have to move things
Mm,
to get things. And when it's cleaned up, when your life is healthier, it's not creating more energy. It's just you're not wasting energy on the negativity. And we're back to the slow boil. It's happened for so long that we've had this slow downward spiral. And as you start to come out of it, as you're helping people, it creates a slow, steady upward spiral too, doesn't it?
mm. It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a positive feedback loop
Yep.
instead of a negative one.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I feel that both giving and receiving are sacred. So people, there's no nobility in doing it yourself. We're all walking each other home. So
Right.
both giving and receiving are sacred.
Yep.
People, oh, I'm going to do it on my. Well,
Yep.
I went to the internet and I got plenty of help from strangers on the internet. So we're another resource for people to get, really effective information.
That's good. All right, let's talk about my favorite power generating concept in the world. It's called a
Mm,
Kaizen state of mind. It's this beautiful
mm,
Japanese idea that small incremental improvements add up over time to yield great big results. And it's so powerful because it's about mindset, not circumstance. Kaizening life is knowing I can always do something better tomorrow than today. And it's this gentle, we're just talking about a gentle, relentless, never
mm.
ending force that keeps lifting my life higher day after day after day. So, how about you, Larry? Has Kaizening your life helped increase your power to continuously become more so you can keep giving more and impacting more and more lives?
Yeah, that's very, that's central to our method. Consistency, we call it the CEE method: consistent, effective, and enjoyable. Our,
Mm,
the food that we suggest to people tastes fantastic. They feel great. So that leads to consistency. And of course, what we do is effective. And, not just me, other people have said a 1% getting 1% better daily. You're 365% better at the end of the year. And we're recording this in early October. Me and my wife have change goals for every October. So, um, things that either individually as a couple or with our daughter as a family that we want to work on. So, using our phone less, being the master of our phone, is a big one for me and my wife. She's really targeting movement. I'm going to continue with my movement. I want to bring more awareness of healing with the diamonds. we have
yeah.
we have change goals. I'm fasting longer than I have recently. I'm actually on the middle, and I don't do this every day. And we do use fasting, but not to this extent, guys. But I'm in a 48 to 72-hour fast right now.
Mm,
Um, I want to garden more. We live in Central Texas. It's a little bit. challenging during the summer months, but we're getting the fall now. So, yeah, this 1% better, we kind of encapsulate that by
Yeah.
having monthly change goals before the month starts. What do we want to work on? And yeah, and focus. There's a great book called the the Gap and the Gains. Many people focus
Mm.
on their non-perfection instead of all the gains. And I work with clients all the time on that. After a session with me, they're like, I did crush the last month, or
Yeah.
whereas they were
Right.
focusing on the 2 or 3 bad days instead of the 28
Yeah.
good days.
Yeah. Yeah. And the mindset also exists when you try to finally correct something that's been bothering you for a long time,
Mhm.
then you want it to happen instantly. And if it took you 10 years to get out of shape, it's going to take you, maybe 10 years to get back in full shape. But one day, one step at a time, and slowly you start to feel the momentum build up.
And absolutely. And it's really important if people join us or whatever they're doing to get healthy, to have it be beyond how you look externally, how
Yeah.
your clothes fit, and really focus on what are called non-scale victories, because the fat loss for both me and my wife, and I lost 120 pounds and I've kept it off, and she lost 70 pounds. I went from a 48-inch waist to a 32. So this is no small thing, but it took both of us time for that fat loss. Although I lost 100 pounds in a year, that was, kind of backloaded from month 4 to month 12. The first 3 or 4 months, my body wanted to heal, but I felt so much better and less hungry
Mm.
within days and weeks, and less brain fog and better meals. So I had tangible quality of life improvements
Yeah.
before the fat really started almost melting off. So if I had been focused only on the fat loss, I don't even know where, all three of us would be, including our daughter. So
Yeah.
vitamin patience, it's known as vitamin P or vitamin patience. And
That's
then
good.
vitamin G is gratitude. And there'll
Yeah.
be many non-scale victories to be gracious. The feeling better and less hunger and clearer mind happened way before the fat loss. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, let's talk about purpose. That's the second element of our happy formula. And I've observed that the big major life transformations and discovery of purpose often sadly come from devastation, addiction, abuse, disease, death, disaster. Something horrible strips a life to its core, and the result is often a big unexpected change. However, in my book Turning Inspiration into Action, I share the transformational process that I've used to discover the purpose of my life using inspiration. So how about you, Larry? Was there a specific moment or event or crisis or inspiration that revealed to you the God-given purpose you were meant to live?
my best friend and my father figure growing up, by far the biggest impact on my childhood was my uncle, the
Hmm.
kindest, most brilliant man. We read hundreds, if not thousands, of books. I mean,
Hmm.
Homer, Plato, Frank Herbert, Isaac Asimov. We went to music together, to the beach. He was, and he had worked hard his whole life. We had a house built that would for him to live in, and he got severe Alzheimer's.
Oh, goodness.
And
Now,
and we
before
did, yeah,
before you go on with the Alzheimer, I want to hear that. But what was the circumstance that did you lose your father?
just never knew him. So
Never knew your father, so your
yeah, they
mother's
so my
your
mom's
mother's brother.
brother, yeah, and
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if it was because he was my uncle, so that he was not only a father figure but best friend. Maybe that's easier for an uncle. I don't know, but I wouldn't have
Hmm.
wanted any other childhood. But yeah, yeah, single mom,
And
and
and how old was he when he started suffering from Alzheimer's?
not much past 60, and I'm 60 right now.
Yeah.
And it really, what the epiphany, and it's so interesting. I wanted to be Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So I actually, and I can make a true connection here. Be careful what you wish for. So I did not accept my responsibility. I outsourced my responsibility to understand a proper human diet, to understand how to heal and take control of it myself. I am convinced that my uncle, and I had the ability to do that decades before. I just, I'm, I can learn things. I love learning and I'm good at it, but I outsourced to, you know, conventional experts. And I believe that I would have found, low carb, healthy fat, intermittent fasting, everything I learned decades earlier, because it's just not my opinion. It's the proper human diet. And had I then explained it to my uncle even 10 years earlier, then
Mm,
he might not have gotten Alzheimer's. So, just like Peter Parker, by not accepting my responsibility, we have great power to heal ourselves. So, it was a lesson that I did not accept my
wow.
personal power and responsibility. So, and
So,
and I was so sick myself, Matt, that I it was 2013 and I said, figure
okay.
it out or die. But the
So
cool
it was
thing was
2013 when he died.
he passed a couple years after that. But he had such severe Alzheimer's. And I healed mostly when we were his full-time caregivers, also, and working a full-time job and
Mm,
a young daughter, 2-year-old daughter. So you guys can do this. No excuses, guys. You can do it. But then the Alzheimer's got so severe that we could no longer be his
mm.
full-time caregivers and work. It was just impossible. But yeah,
What was your uncle's name?
Stu,
Uncle Stu.
Uncle
All
Stu.
right. Well,
Yeah,
his death created your life, and so that's a beautiful thing.
it is. I'm still a little pissed at myself, but I've turned that into helping others, and
Yeah,
I know he's up there rooting us on. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, and you know the power of forgiveness.
yeah.
You have to apply that to yourself also. And when you don't, it's like everything you teach your clients. If you're holding on to it, it's creating a negativity inside you that is the opposite of what you're trying to achieve. And you know that.
I do, and so much beauty has come out, and you know, his mom had her leg amputated in the early 1970s from type 2. So it's not it's wanting to honor our ancestors is recent, and all the ancestors before them that made our lives possible. That is part of, and we have a tree, a Celtic
Yeah,
tree is our symbol. So, tree of
very
life,
nice.
family tree, however people want
Yeah,
to interpret that.
very good. Well, Larry, thank you for sharing all that with us.
Yeah.
It's very important. And let's take a quick commercial break so our sponsor can spread a little love with our audience.
Are you ready to transform your life? At happyliving.com, we've discovered 4 keys to help you live with purpose, joy, and significance. Unlock your truth with the Happy Quiz. Unlock your happy formula with inspiring stories from the Something Significant Show. Unlock your roadmap to happiness with our free ebook, Making Your Mark of Significance. And unlock your inspired life with our life-changing e-course, The Philosophy of You and Your Inspired Life. This is your time to shine. Go to happyliving.com now and click Unlock the Power of You. Unlock your power. Live your best life. happyliving.com.
And we're back, and this is the Something Significant Show, and I'm your host, Matt Gersper. And my special guest star today is Larry Diamond. Alongside his wife, Kay Lynne, he is one half of the heart behind Healing with the Diamonds, guiding families to reclaim their health through ancestral wisdom, real food, movement, and joyful living. They shared transformation, losing 190 pounds and reversing chronic conditions, inspired a mission to help others heal. From kitchen makeovers to mindset shifts, they show how one family's healing can ripple into significance for generations. I love what you're doing, Larry, and I think you're going to love this article that I found. It's called The Science Behind the Power of Giving. And it says that the simple act of giving itself can become a gateway to discovering your reason for being on the planet. And science confirms it, that when we give our time and our talents and our treasure, it doesn't just help others, it transforms us too. It helps us overcome obstacles, it helps us to find meaning, and it helps us discover our purpose. So I updated our formula. Power plus purpose plus giving equals really happy. So how about you, Larry? Has giving your time, talents, and treasures been a powerful pathway for discovering your purpose and for getting through hardships and for bringing real meaning into your life?
Oh, absolutely. And, there's incredible science about giving. There's somebody named David Hamilton,
Mm,
PhD. He was originally a chemical engineer, and then he was so fascinated by the placebo effect, which is getting stronger. And the people, Bruce Lee's like one of the most important uh, philosophers. I call him my sensei. I just love all things Bruce Lee. And he said, real living is living for others. And
yeah.
then Bob Marley has a great quote: my life not important except how I can help other people. So
Hmm.
absolutely. I don't know if this was on camera or not, but we were talking about the sacredness of both giving and receiving
Hmm.
as well. And uh, yeah, you know, I am really trying to be, one of my submissions is to be an elder for the planet. Because
Mm,
when we had more tribal or even smaller communities where everyone knew each other, let's say, before Columbus, in North America, the elders were a very important part of each and every tribe. And,
hmm.
I I try and be a virtual elder and
Hmm.
elder for my circle. So it really is the circle of life. No humans an island. In fact, I'm
Yeah.
really into quantum biology now. So there's something called quantum entanglement, and it's much faster than speed of light. They
Mm,
We now know that two particles on the opposite end of the universe can instantly impact each other.
mm,
The world's more magical than we know. So, all this mindset, I came up with a saying: if it isn't woo, is it even true? And
mm,
so, all the quote unquote woo is actually the cutting edge science. I'm lucky to be aware of that. People aren't. There's a book called The Biology of Belief Mindset.
mm.
We can literally change our brain chemistry, or
Yep.
not, no, just body chemistry, not just brain chemistry, almost instantly with our thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. And it works both ways. We're talking about Kaizen. You can Kaizen your life up, you can Kaizen your life down. And the same thing with giving. You can be a giver or you can be a taker. And it is exponential or quantum. It reaches everywhere. And science tells us that giving to others brings real meaning to our life. Does that make sense? Giving to others brings real meaning to our life. And the joy that we feel from the fourth element of our definition for significance, doing work that creates values for others, that confirms it.
Mhm.
But there's something more to it than just the giving, Larry. I believe that the real magic of life comes when you're giving from living in your purpose, because that's when joy flows, not just to the receiver, but to the
Mhm.
giver too, and even to people just witnessing the giving. So, Larry and Kay Lynne, if when you're listening, I'd love our audience to witness what that magic looks like in your lives. So I invite you, my friend, to sit back, open your heart, and have a listen to what people are saying about the impact that you're making in their lives by finding the magic of giving from living in your purpose. So one person told me their story and their healing is so inspirational. Another said, I really admire Larry and think his journey is amazing. And another, I've been very impressed by Larry's willingness and ability to take steps needed to completely change careers and focus on what he's passionate about. This person said, listen to their story and follow their lead. A few comments from your podcast. It said, it's so important to share our transformations and positive changes so others can see they can do it too. Comment, right on. Great group blueprint for health. Great information, guys. Impressive lecture by Dr. Hussey. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Hussey. Another comment, as always, thanks Larry and Kay Lynne for a great talk. Still others said, they give us hope when we were hopeless. They're wise and warm and enthusiastic too. They go all in, researching, experimenting. They're true pioneers, leaders, beacons of change, finding what works well for them and then sharing with others. I'm deeply grateful for their love and support. Of course, none of this would have been possible without Kay Lynne's unwavering support. And finally, this person said simply, I find their story so inspiring because it's not just about massive weight loss, it's about massive health gains. To me, that message resonates and leads to sustainable changes. So Larry, how does all that incredible love make you feel?
Oh, great. The electric goosebumps. Yeah, I mean, Bob Marley said it, my life not important except for my impacts on other people. And again, going back to my uncle, my best friend, he, I was not his son, I was his nephew. He didn't have to give what he gave. So, but, I hope he got a lot back. My mom's still living. Yay, I'm going to visit her soon. And we were just talking the other day, and she said he loved you so much. He loved every moment with you. So um, for some blessed reason, and my wife's such a giver, it and I also understand, and I don't want this to feel selfish, but we're all in this together. So when any one of us gets healthier, the whole community, the whole world, even if we never impact each other, let's say somebody's unhealthy and they're driving and they have a heart attack, they could
Yep.
kill your family inadvertently.
Yep.
Um, so uh, health costs go up for all, bigger. So we really are quantumly entangled, whether we like it or not. But I want to think about it the positive. We can raise our ship together.
Yep.
And I've always had this, and it's super important as a mindset. If you see somebody, and sadly, we've had this happen, and we almost think people weren't aware. When somebody in your circle heals, be gracious for that. Sometimes people can make it about them. We're all together. Use that inspiration. That's what I liked about those quotes. People were being inspired to be better versions of themselves. It's not a healing competition. So,
Correct. That's a great point.
I
That's
want you
right.
to be as healthy as you can be, Matt.
Right.
We're
Right.
not in competition. So, yeah, thank you for all those comments. They were
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's great. And that's it, folks. That's what this show is all about. We're here, Larry and his wife, Kay Lynne, and me, and all our guest stars, to encourage you, our listeners, to find that same magic in your lives. It's available for all of us. That's what I believe. And it comes from this great, big, happy circle. Giving your time, talents, and treasures is a powerful pathway for discovering your purpose. And giving from living in your purpose brings a profound joy to your life and to the lives of those around you too. So it seems that giving leads to purpose and giving from purpose leads to joy. So to capture the entire exponential power of our happy formula, Larry, I've got to tweak it just a little bit more to power times purpose times giving equals happy to the third power. And that's really, truly, deeply happy. Does that sound about right to you?
It does. And Carl Jung, the great philosopher, also a Taoist. So he might have, I don't know, might have met Bruce Lee, who knows? But he said that think back to your childhood and those activities that the hours melted away that you just did naturally. And
Yep.
if you can do those as an adult, then you'll be truly happy. And I think I was born to be a healer and a teacher. So at Healing with the Diamonds, that's what, we're healers and we're teachers. So
Love
I
it.
agree with that. Picasso has a great quote about that as well, like
Yeah.
giving our talents away. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all the greats have discovered this for happiness. Yeah.
The golden pool of magic. That's
Ah,
it. The golden pool of magic. Google
ah,
that. It's a short essay. It's absolutely phenomenal, and it's all about discovering that magic when you were a kid. And the poem talks about how we get it churched out, spanked out, we get put on the straight and narrow, we get told to grow up. No, we don't want to grow up. We want to get back into that golden pool of magic that was inside us when we were kids. It's still there. And now we call it different words, but it's finding your purpose. It's your God-given reason for being here. It's your whatever you want to call it. When you're using it, you're on fire. You feel great, and people around you notice it. And if you're not feeling that way, keep looking. I think that's what Larry and I are telling you.
absolutely. Be like children.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've also heard the best muse is our inner child.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up the lightning round. I love the power of
Mhm.
words and the capacity for great quotes to change lives. So I'm going to read a few of my favorites, Larry, and ask you to tell us what they mean to you and give us the first thoughts that pop into your mind because we call this a lightning round. So here we go. This is from George William Curtis, and he said, happiness lies, first of all, in health.
It is, I can tell you that it is a lot harder to be happy when you're sick and tired all the time. But I would say health is also the health of our relationships, the
Yep.
health if we're giving and living our purpose. But absolutely, the bedrock though, life's so much harder. Sick and tired takes a lot of energy.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Very good. This is
yeah.
an Ayurvedic Ayurvedic
Ah,
proverb, and it says, "When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need."
absolutely. Oh, that you just captured healing with the diamonds. So one of our core things we do is food freedom, which we call it a way of eating that we love that loves us back. So people have don't understand that food can be their greatest friend in healing. And it's where we get our nutrients and sustenance from. And you can't, I'm not giving any medical advice, of course, but if the problem is our lifestyle decisions, there's no pill that can correct only
Yep.
lifestyle change. So yeah, we've lived that. Not even knowing that proverb, we kind of came up with that proverb ourselves for sure.
Yeah. Great. This is from J.
Mm.
Krishnamurti, and it says, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society."
I've heard that many times and absolutely correct. And when we first met, low carb, healthy fat, uh, I was the first person in my circle to go gluten free, then grain free, and intermittent fasting. And I've never been held back by other people's opinions. And I literally go against the grains because I don't eat grains anymore. But also, even young, I remember hearing the Vince Lombardi quote, winning's not everything or only. And I'm like, what is winning? Even young. And I was also blessed to be a good athlete. I could change athletic events just myself, but I didn't care about winning. I just wanted to have fun and play. So I
Hmm.
rejected social norms very, very early. My worth was not based ever on competition. I don't even think competition's a real thing. That's just a society psyop. So I have never, I have never adjusted to society.
This particular quote's not on my list, but I love it, and it's what you talked about. Other people's opinion of you is none of your business.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
by being authentic, I think a lot of what we've talked about is being authentic, bringing our
yeah.
clothes. And my wife, my lovely wife, she proposed to me. And, one of the things she said was, I always knew from the first moment we met who you were. You never hid
Nice.
who you were. You never played games. You're
Yeah.
always you 100% of the time. So yeah,
Great. That's
by
beautiful.
and we won't resonate with everyone, and that's
Correct.
okay. But the people who were meant to find you will never find you if you're not authentic.
That's it. Two more. This one's
Mhm.
from Ray Wiley Hubbard, and he
Ooh,
says he says the days that I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, ah, well, I have really good days.
vitamin G, vitamin gratitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That, Bruce Lipton, the biology of belief. You can have two people with the same external circumstances, and one person, it's the best life, the best day of their life. Other people can literally be 10 billion, whatever, and feel lack and
Yeah.
and no gratitude whatsoever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
so true. This is our show anchor. It's from Goth, of course, one of my favorites. He said, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Love it. One of my favorite quotes is Alan Watts, we're under no obligation to be the same person we were 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I had a start date. I literally came home, told Kay Lynne, I'm never buying bread and pasta again. And
Very good.
she told me she thought it would last a few days or a couple weeks at most. Little did she know, 12 plus years.
That's
Um,
great.
but yeah, I literally became a different person overnight or
Yeah.
or that day. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a really important point for people to realize. It takes a lifetime to mess your life up. It can anyways. And you can't fix everything overnight, but you can make the decision that you're going to change overnight. You can do that, can be in an instant, correct?
In an instant, in an
Yeah.
instant, I
Yeah.
want to heal.
Yeah.
I want to be my best
Yeah.
giving self. Yep.
Very good. Okay, my friends, now it's your chance to be a giver too. If today's show with Larry Diamond inspired and motivated you, then share your enthusiasm with our amazing team at WITV7. They're a 501c3 charity on a mission to educate, empower, and encourage people who are in need. Every gift matters, big and small, because your generosity fuels change. Together with your support and their tireless work, lives are being transformed and love is being multiplied. Donate today and become part of something bigger than yourself. Larry, I love the way you and Kay Lynne have turned your family's struggle into a beacon of hope for others, and I admire your courage and commitment to healing, not just for yourselves, but for generations of families to come. And I'm super happy that you shared your authentic, transformative, and wise spirit on our show today. Will you just take a minute or two and share any parting remarks you'd like to leave with our audience?
Well, we have, you can find us at our website, healingwiththediamonds.com, and you'll find blogs and a newsletter to sign up for. And we have a podcast that Matt alluded to and wonderful guests. We do have consulting options, and we're going to have courses coming out. But right now, you could work with me, Kay Lynne, or both of us. our clients are doing really well. I have one she's now at about her 8th week, but her fasting insulin, this was 17 when she started. By week 6, it went to 11. So almost, and things like that just motivate us. But we're givers. So you can get a lot of great information for free. We have a Facebook group. Just look up Healing with the Diamonds Instagram. When we help anyone heal, we get it back tenfold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Larry. And
Absolutely.
go ahead.
I could give my email. It's Larry, believe it or not, Larry at healingwiththediamonds.com. And we offer a free 15-minute get to know. So people can email me if, we're not, and we have single consults. You can find out all about that. But we really want to get to know someone before they invest any of their time or resources with us.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Larry. And thank you, Kay Lynne, when you hear this. And Piper. I remember Piper, one of my first dances. And now Piper, I've got a little dog named Piper. I didn't name her. It just happened that way, but I love her too. So my friends, it's because of stories like Larry and Kay Lynne's and listeners like you that we've been named one of the top 100 life purpose podcasts worldwide, ranked number 17th. So thank you for supporting our mission and sharing these stories of inspiration and purpose. I also want to thank WITV7 for hosting and promoting our show so we can keep interviewing inspiring guest stars like Larry and reaching folks just like you, ready to create your own extraordinary lives. And most especially, thank you, viewers and listeners. You'll find links to social media and all things Larry and Kay Lynne Diamond. Check out Healing with the Diamonds for coaching, for podcasts, and for resources to help your family heal through real food, movement, mindset, and joyful living. And if you're ready to begin your own transformation, connect with them directly. Larry just gave you his email address or through their website. You'll find all the links in the show notes. And from me to you, dear friends, I love you and I want you to be really, truly, deeply happy too. So wait no more. Go to happyliving.com right now and click Unlock Here. It could be the first step to unlocking the life you were meant to live, one that's filled with purpose, joy, and real significance. And as you begin unlocking, think about what we can do together, you and me, to improve the happy of your world one person at a time. Till next time, I'm Matt Gersper. You are awesome, and this is the Something Significant Show. And we're out.